Hey friends, I thought I would make a quick video on the rapture. I'm sitting outside because, sometimes theology requires being in the great outdoors. Of course, I'm only sitting on my front porch, but hey, it'll do. So in my book, The End of the World as You Know It, I have a chapter on the rapture. And in that chapter, I make reference to a well-known pastor and author who writes routinely on the subject of eschatology. And in one of his books, he talks about the rapture, and he's actually lamenting that other churches don't talk about the rapture enough, and that many people are not believing in the rapture as much as he thinks that they should. And he quotes a passage from 2 Peter in the course of his discussions, and in this 2 Peter passage, he quotes a line that says, "In the last days there will be scoffers on the earth," and he says, the very fact that people aren't talking about the rapture is proof that we're part of the final generation. Why? Well, because 2 Peter says that in the last days there will be scoffers. So he sets up the situation such that if you're questioning rapture theology, you're actually part of a prophecy of 2 Peter, that you're a scoffer, you're part of the problem. And I find that to be completely fascinating. Very unfortunate, in fact, because what it does is it precludes the possibility of even asking questions. In other words, you're not even allowed to ask questions about rapture theology. You're certainly not allowed to point out criticisms of rapture theology. You're not, it seems, allowed to present alternative views. Why? Well, because you're part of the problem. You're one of the scoffers that was predicted to be coming in the last days. And I want to push back on this, if I may, because actually, when you do that, you're stifling conversation. You're pushing aside the opportunity for genuine dialogue. And we need to have dialogue on theological matters because that's the way we learn truth. That's the way we can pursue the truth. That's how we can pursue meaning and understanding of the scriptures. So, let me just say this. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Because if you're interested in pursuing the truth, that's the way you do it. You ask questions. Ask questions of the text. Ask questions of those who write about the text, and keep pursuing the truth by entering in dialogue. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's not a bad thing to do that. If you want to pursue the truth, ask questions.